له يا سمرة في بروح الولف بالله يا ولو حلي.
Supply chains and shipping are an important, crucial thing to figure out how we want to build a world together in general. A lot of the world relies on workers, on ordinary people. There's a lot of leverage that people have. And so this map that I made on the 6th floor to really, really see the different types of resistant forms of internationalism that are latent within supply chains. I think in my own experience, just generally having gone to international schools and kind of moved around a lot, I've always kind of been critical of what the word international could mean and what different possibilities there are for that. And so I think I spend a lot of time around airports and ports and trying to really think about what systems of violence actually benefit from such concepts and such terms. And on one hand, nationalism is easily considered to be a much more violent concept, but then that never actually means that internationalism is any less violent. That is a core idea of both shipping, of policing, of so many of these different systems of violence where they are actually invested in the process and project of how to make loss representable. One of the main instances of lost time is a workers' strike. And so the idea that in that sense, the negativity on the hand of supply chains is actually leverage. It doesn't mean that loss inherently is valuable, but it means that there's always a possibility and that there's always more and there's always different ways of being able to carve out what that space is. And so sometimes I even just want to open up the gaps of lost time and just sit in it and see what it has to tell me, whether or not it is a key for resistance or whether or not it's furthering exploitation. This whole floor is about the gaps and the things that are not said and all of this type of negative space and forms of negativity. A lot of it's way more about a practice of listening rather than trying to say a statement that I've perfectly formulated and concluded and I'm projecting out into the world.
Knock, knock, are you listening at all? And I felt that there's no one is listening. Knock, knock. Are you
So
guys
Osprey
listening?
V is a rock band from Gaza who, I'm gonna look at the camera now because everyone should check out and follow them on social media and support them because they're amazing and you should listen to their music. They're extremely talented musicians. My involvement with them was, I guess, I went back to Egypt to run a mutual aid network to help people who evacuated from Gaza. And so I'm okay, how can I actually get to know musicians and artists from Gaza? And then had mentioned that I play drums, and then we were oh, we should jam. The actual film itself kind of started from them, where they were you're a video artist, you make films, why don't you do something with us? And that was a really difficult thing for me because I'm I don't want to decide how you represent yourselves in this situation that you know better than I do. But it came a big conversation where they're okay, but you understand how to make things representable more than we do. Then I really, really came to understand the meaning of that and how much it gave the idea that oh wow, we're building something. And especially spending a whole year working on this film, it created the idea that they could wake up during a genocide while they're being bombed and have something that they're working on, have something to to look forward to. What does it mean to make art together as a way of living, as a way of committing to life and living, and to see that as a collaborative thing, to see that as a part of what it means to be friends and to work towards something. That definitely changed so much of what like art means to me. In the music store.
所以之后我们会试着跟这个主唱 Rising 的连线，因为他现在人在加沙，所以网络信号可能会不好。
Hello.